Hey there. If you're here, you probably just purchased one of the most badass rifles ever made, the FN Scar. And if you purchased an FN Scar, you probably thought to yourself right away, wow, that trigger really sucks. How do you fix that? Get yourself a Geissele Super Scar trigger. Best trigger ever made. Let's show you how to get that thing installed. So here we have our Scar lower and our Geissele trigger. Let's open up the trigger. So inside you'll see a new grip screw, which is shorter than the standard one, which you're going to need. Some grease, instruction manual, outsmart the packaging. All right, and your trigger. So you get your trigger assembly and your hammer. So we're going to start out, we're going to make sure she's cocked back. We're going to need a small screwdriver, and we're going to take this screw out of the safety. I need a smaller screwdriver. I do want to preface this with, I'm not a professional. I watched half a YouTube video and thought I can figure that shit out. So here we are. Come on. So that screws out. Then we need to remove the safety lever itself. Be gentle. Come on. It's not what you want to do. Oops. All right. Show me your secrets. Oh, here it comes. So try not to mark up your lower too much, but you know, shit happens. Are you kidding me? That was easy. So once we get that cover off, we're going to want to pop the safety out. Just kind of push on it. We got to remove this plate. We're going to push it back right here. Then it should lift up. There. Safety out all the way. There we go. Back up and out. Now we're going to want to hold our thumb on the hammer, get that up. Now we should be able to remove our hammer pin. Keep your thumb on that. Hammer pin's out. And we can remove the hammer, the spring and lever, and this back pin. So you have a large hole and a small hole. Now that we have that out, we can kind of put some pressure down on our trigger, pop this pin out, trigger comes out, 3 pieces, and we can pull our safety out, safety detent and spring out. So one thing you'll see, so with the screw included, it is for, on some of the models, this screw protrudes into the area here, and you can't have that. So this is for when that screw sticks out of that hole. I don't know if that's because this is a non-reciprocating charging handle model that they altered that, but because that screw does not come out, I should not have to use this shorter screw. But if your screw does stick out into the frame, you're going to need this screw. So we're going to take our Geissele, which has a little pin in it to hold it all together. And we're just going to drop it in there. Line that hole up and take our trigger pin. You're just going to use that. So that really helps hold it all together, so you're not trying to do it yourself. You just take this trigger pin and you just push it right out. You might have to play with it a little bit to get all the way. There it went. We're going to want to take these legs for the spring and spread them. So now we have our trigger installed. I'm going to go ahead and put this detent, spring and detent back in here. Now we want to run this pin in. And grab the lever. Put it right there. We're going to set that in with that on there. Take our hammer pin. You're going to want to line this up. There you go. Should fall in. Go check the other side. Just kind of steer it in. Now that's in. Now we can take our plate, put it back on here. Lock your hammer down. Jeez. Lock your plate back on here. Make sure it's in all the way. Make sure that's in all the way. Push it in. Bump it forward. Reinstall our safety. Make sure your detent didn't fall out. And just kind of take your small screwdriver. Hold that detent down. And push it in. Got to work it back and forth. There it went. Double check our operation before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Safety's on, works. Safety off. Hammer releases. Locks back. Releases. Locks back. Releases. There we go. So we can reinstall this safety on this side, push that on, and then we can screw this back in. There we go. You are locked in. And now you have a Geissele trigger. Much lighter already, I can tell. Give me a second and I'll throw it back on the upper. So the trigger, once we put it back in, is very light. You can see it's a two-stage, very good brake. Run the action, reset, Very nice. A little bit of take up after the reset, and you're right back on it. So overall, that feels great. So a lot of times with the scars, guys will complain about having like an 8-pound trigger. With this one, I don't know if it's because it's the newer non-reciprocating model, but the factory mil-spec trigger in this one was probably only like 6 pounds. It really didn't feel bad. The reset was atrocious, but the actual trigger pull itself wasn't that bad. And, you know, with mil-specs, I've had plenty of AR-15 mil-spec triggers that some of them just feel terrible. Some of them felt great, you know, not Geissele great, but passable. And some of them are just terrible. So I think, you know, it could just be that this gun just happened to come with a really good trigger, better than most. Or if the non-reciprocatings are better. I will say the Geissele is a huge improvement. It feels like it's about 4 pounds, you know, not too light. Really good reset. Nice crisp pull. I use Geissele triggers in all of my AR-15s and now in my SCAR, and I'm really looking forward to sending some rounds down range with this. Thanks for watching. I'm not a professional. I'm just some idiot. Have a good day.